Alright everyone, welcome to another episode of ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Eric Novak, and today we have a special guest. He is Future, the owner and founder of Future Legends clothing line. Yes, that Future Legends clothing line. The ones that Bobby Lashley, Moose, Austin Theory, Casey Navarro, and so many more wrestlers are a part of, including your own Eric Novak, host of ARWP. I'm doing a special giveaway with them this week, starting today all the way till Monday for their classic Future Legends tee. You guys, the way you can get this shirt is by entering the giveaway by basically tagging me, Future Legends, 5 of your friends, and making a story. And we will repost your story and we'll pick a winner at the end of the week. And I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Special guest. He is the owner of Future Legends clothing line. He is Future.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me today.
Of course, it is an honor. Let's start with, how did this all come to be? Was this a drawing? Was this a memory and a dream? Where did you get to where you got here now?
I started my first brand, which was the Underground Clown. We used to call it the UGC back in 06, 07 to honor a good friend of mine who was murdered. The one T-shirt, the Future Legend T-shirt, fell under that brand, the Underground Clown label, and it was just a simple distress font T-shirt, like you're breaking through, and it took flight, and I saw several years later as the other brand was homage to Brooklyn T-shirts, and it had a shelf life. There wouldn't be longevity for keeping that brand alive. It was like graffiti and Brooklyn shirts. So it had a designated, clientele, whereas Future Legend could be anybody. So I just saw that brand having more ability to take off and fly. So 2012, I did exactly that. I launched it as its own company, and thank God, 8 years later, or 9 years later, we're still moving.
That's amazing. That's what a story. There's so much obstacles that are in the way of just getting to where you want to be. Tell me some of the obstacles that you had to pass. If it was contracts, if it was lawsuits or anything. You always have to go through so much. What were some obstacles that hit you along the way?
Well, but wrote the legalities. You got to own copyright and trademark and stay on top of all of that, because bigger company, the bigger fish will see opportunity to snatch something up if you don't protect yourself, legality wise. But once you stay on top of that, I mean, we've sent out already like 17 cease and desist from a lot of big companies. We're actually in major litigation with several big companies now for trademark infringement. But the biggest obstacle, like I said, is stay on top of your trade, stay on top of your name, and always do searches to see if anybody's out there using your name, using your likeness, anything like that you may be doing to promote yourself or your company. That's the biggest thing.
Of course. So tell me, how did you manage to get in contact with a lot of wrestlers to wear your own logo on their gear? Because I'm a big gear guy. And the first thing I noticed was when I was in a New York show, Austin Theory wore your logo on his tights. And that was huge to me. So tell me how you came up with that idea, because that's something I don't really see much. The only person that really does that is Brock Lesnar, and he promotes like multiple things on his shorts.
I got really lucky and blessed. I mean, I started working with UFC and Bellator in the early going of my brand, and at one point in Bellator, we had probably half of the roster wearing it in and out of the cage, and then training in the dojos, in their training facilities in the BJJ school. So we got lucky. I mean, the crossover was with Bobby Lashley from Bellator into Impact Wrestling, and then guys like Eddie Edwards and Moose, and they just followed suit. As far as Theory, was in Evolve in the Indies and all over the place. He just took a liking to the company, and we're still blessed that Austin's wearing it. I mean, he's moved up the ranks quickly, But yeah, I mean, we've been super blessed.
That's awesome. That's Yeah, when you have wrestlers in WWE promoting your own logo, that's something a 1 in a million shot. And you brought up Bobby Lashley. Was he the biggest reason that you managed to get into Impact's roster? Like with Eddie, with Moose, was he like the start of it all when it came to Impact?
Yeah, Bobby introduced the brand. I mean, he wore it, like as I said, in Bellator, and then the crossover wrestling, and then once the locker room seen it, a lot of people liked it and gravitated towards it and what the company stood for. So yeah, I mean, like I said, but as as time goes on, you'll see like guys like Moose wears it all over his robes or his knee pads. Flip Gordon wore it for several years on his trunks in Ring of Honor. Then you have the younger guys, the KC Navarros that show love all the time on their gear. Gosh, there's so many of them. Thomas Storm. I could probably go on, but yeah, we've been super lucky and blessed.
That's awesome. So tell me now that you've gotten wrestlers in WWE, AEW, Impact, what's next? What's the next big goal?
Um, Branching out to other sports. I mean, Jose Reyes, when he played for the Mets, introduced our brand to several Met players.
What's the big steps? Because as a company, you always have to be one step ahead. Is there any new merch come along? Are you gonna cross over with other people? What's the next big plan that you guys are gonna go for?
We would like to do more indie shows, and like with Future Stars of Wrestling out in Vegas, we have our logo on their ring. So there's a couple like hot up and coming promotions out here in Florida. I'd like to cross promote, and actually, I did a joint collaboration show with the guys at Lucha Expo. Kevin and them from Mass Republic. So I mean, doing our own shows is something I'd like to get back into in the next, hopefully when this pandemic starts to slow down a little bit, we have a little more freedom to move around and get talent in. But that's definitely something I would like to, get my feet into the water with.
Yeah, that's huge. Lucha Expo was one of the biggest thing, especially Mass Republic. They're doing so much right now. It's awesome that you guys are trying to do a collaboration with them and work with them, especially with FSW. Talents like Chris Bay, who's all over Impact right now, being a #1 star. Him, coming from that place, and so much more talent that are growing in FSW. That's amazing that you guys are getting your logo, getting your face, getting your name all over those big major programming and promotions. It's awesome. So yeah, as we were talking about it, you talked about wanting to work with FSW. You already have your logo in the middle of the ring. You already did the Lucha Expo with Mass Republic. So that's a lot of really big things that you guys are getting your hands on, which is amazing. And you guys started doing this giveaway. I don't know if it's a weekly thing, but it's awesome because it definitely has more people being more active, promoting your stuff. And just tell me how all these ideas just came to be. Who decided to create the giveaway weekly?
I took over our Instagram page not too long ago. So I said the best way, people always love free. So anytime they see free, they're on it. So the best way to do it is have people like your stuff, what the like want it, and then tag 5 of their friends and follow you, and have their friends hopefully follow, and it starts to spread and catch on. And we've been lucky. In the last several weeks, we've picked up probably well over 100 followers, and we're getting a lot of questions, a lot more interaction, a lot more people watching our stories and liking our posts. So it's just, you got to stay on your grind, and you know what? The more you're out there and the more people see that you're actually giving back and you care what they think and you ask them questions, they like this, they like that, they're actually part of it. And most companies don't do that. They don't give back. They just want to take your money and they don't really care. They want to just coast off of their reputation. We actually want, the input from our people who support us and people who buy our stuff. So we can better our product.
That's awesome. And you were telling me that you originally had 12K followers, and then Insta screwed you over. There's always issues when it comes to social media, and that happened. So now you need to gain up followers again. How can people support? How can people always follow? How can people get the word out? What's the best way to help out bring it back to what it was?
For us, a lot of people knew our brand, know our company already. The thing is that they probably didn't know that we got kicked off there because they have a lot of followers and they don't honestly miss what we're doing, like, so to speak, or they're not watching to see. So, and it's just about us promoting, trying to tag some of the people who were following us before. If we have old pictures in our archives, tag them so they go, oh, wow, I thought I was following them. Then they follow. It starts to spark up again. But like I said, everything's work. So as fast as you climb that ladder, you can see how the ladder can be pulled out from under you. So it's a little bit of a humbling experience. We don't really know why our Instagram was pulled. We didn't violate policy. We do have a legal issue with a major company for them using our trademark. So we're in court with that. So I can't point fingers, but it's the only logical reason why when we escalated a lawsuit against a really big company for trademark infringement, that night our Instagram was suspended. So, kind of like shots fired.
Yeah. Don't mess with Brooklyn though, because that's the big lesson. Don't mess with Brooklyn, because we're gonna come back bigger, stronger. That's a big lesson. So tell me. Say it again?
No, I said the thing is, most of the big companies, they think that the smaller companies are going to be afraid, put our tails between our legs and be like, okay, we're not going to proceed. Got the wrong guy. Not built like that. It's not going to go down like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. I respect that. So let's talk more about you. You're a very interesting guy. Have you been a wrestling fan your whole life? Was this something that you followed, or was it boxing that got you doing what you did, and then when Bobby Lashley went to wrestling, that's when you started following wrestling?
No, I've always watched wrestling as a kid, but it's like everything else. When you're a young kid, you watch wrestling. You grow up watching, well, I did anyway, Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Snuka and Roddy Piper. And then Saturday morning cartoons, they had the WWF cartoons. So you grow up watching it. And as you get older and you're a teenager and you start to see girls in cars, you kind of get out of wrestling for a little bit. And then, once life settles down and you're working, you're married, kids, this, that, they get into it. So you always find your way back to it. But yeah, I've always been a wrestling fan. Boxing, I've watched, of course, UFC, Bellator, mixed martial arts. So I've been a fan since I'm a kid. I mean, I fell out of the loop for a little bit.
We all do.
Yeah, I miss like when Ring of Honor and that, but Impact and all that good stuff. So now it's really a good time to be a wrestling fan because you have so many different companies you can watch. You got the WWE, you got NXT, you got AEW, you got Impact Wrestling, you got Ring of Honor, you got all the indie shows now. We were at Atomic yesterday. They're on Fight Network. Alex put on a tremendous show yesterday. So I mean, you got so many different outlets to watch it, and so many, like I said, indie shows all over the place. So it's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it's amazing. Tell me, what your favorite company. Well, not trying to be biased. What's just a company that you enjoy a lot? That they're giving entertainment week after week after week, and you're just enjoying it, enjoying the product.
WWE is always good, but I personally, I love AEW and what they're doing because they're taking the indie stars and they're giving them a platform to work. And for, the casual wrestling fan who's not really in the scene and going to the shows to see that talent. So I love what they're doing with that. I mean, that's amazing. And how they're bringing NWA people in like, Thunder Rosa and different talents like that. So people who aren't fortunate enough to see those people who put in hard work to actually see them and they get a little shine time. So I like what they're doing a lot. And of course, I like what Impact's doing. I like the new Moose. He's kind of like Ric Flair-esque.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's definitely some good stuff out there. And like I said, WWE always knows always gonna do their thing. But what the AEW and Impact are doing is pretty exciting now.
Well, let's talk about that. I'm interviewing Moose this Wednesday. I know you're supposed to meet up with Moose this weekend. Alan told me that you're going to meet up with Moose and do micro brawlers. We're going to talk about that because that's really cool. But let's talk about Moose and what he's doing because that's another big thing. I saw your logo on his knee pad and it's also in his actual Moose logo. It's there. Did you create all that? Was that all your ideas, or was that something that he was like, oh, put it inside the Moose, in the middle of the Moose? Was that his idea or your idea?
No, that was all Moose is doing. But you know, like I said, that Moose is a brother to me. I love Moose, so he can do whatever he wants. He could use my logo. There'll never ever be any kind of legality or whatever on my end to him. But Moose has, Moose is just, as you when you do your interview on Wednesday, you'll see Moose is just it's a rare breed, solid dude.
Oh yeah, well, we're gonna talk about
Great guy.
future legends. We gotta on multiple occasions. So yeah, so tell me, what was your earliest memory in wrestling? Like, what is one thing that you remember and that you still think about or talk about? Because everyone has that one memory. It could be your first live event, or it could be the first time you watch on TV. But what's one thing that you always look back at?
Gosh, going back as a kid, of course, like I remember the Iron Sheik coming out. And at that time, like in the early 80s as a little kid, the United States and Iran had all that stuff going on politically, but you're too young of a kid. But WWE made it like where uh, you had strong dislike for him because the country was so patriotic. So they did well with that, with Sergeant Slaughter and Iron Sheik, and of course Nikolai Volkov. It was, I always remember that. That sticks out. And when Roddy Piper hit Jimmy Snuka with a coconut on Piper's Pit,
Yeah, that company.
those are just like they'll never be erased from your brain.
Of course. Something I want to talk about, because you did tell me, you came from Brooklyn, stuff like that. The big event is well, it's exactly what I just said. It's a big event of wrestling in New York. It's always by the LaGuardia Plaza. Have you ever had any interest to going there? Because there's always a whole bunch of talent, a whole bunch of wrestlers that are just doing signings, stuff like that, for mostly free. All you have to do is get in for $20 admission. Everything else is, your way. Have you ever decided to do anything like that? Go to conventions, talk to wrestlers, and get more connections, more ideas?
We did big event, I think, back in 2017. We had the private room off to I believe, the right of the bar. We had DX there, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, and X-Pac was outside. So it was like you come meet X-Pac and then step into the private room and have the New Age Outlaws.
I had no idea that you guys did that. I was there for that
Yeah.
one. That was when Shawn Michaels was upstairs, right? Shawn Michaels was upstairs.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
there. I had no idea you guys were doing that. I had no idea. Wow, small world. It's really that funny. But yeah, so now with the whole pandemic hitting, a lot of things have been shut down. So it's not easy to do private signings or even regular fan signings. But again, you guys had a lot of favoritism showed by a lot of wrestlers through a lot of promotions. So your name's still out there. Everything is still going. And you have people like Matt Taven, TJP, who also wear your merch. How did that all come to be? When did you guys talk to Matt Taven from Ring of Honor or TJP from, I believe, WWE at the time?
Well, Matt Taven, he's good friends with a good friend of mine, George Carroll, who works with MLW, and George does a lot of the shows with me, gives me a hand because it's a lot of work to do signings. So George actually is from the New England area. He's good friends with Matt, and we did WrestleCade. I believe it was, it might have been like 18 or something down in North Carolina, and Taven was with us there for a signing. But I just had the honor to speak at Jay Lethal's school about a week ago with Ryan. Well, actually, you probably know him as Connor from the Ascension, but Ryan is just what an amazing guy. But Matt actually surprised me, Taven. He came down and listened to me speak to the students for about an hour and a half. So it's nice to see Matt. Good dude.
That's amazing. Can you tell me what you talked about? So people who didn't get a chance to be at the, dojo, or I think it's a dojo, or school or dojo, whatever you want to call it. What did you talk about? What can the fans take from that?
Well, basically, we spoke more about branding themselves and how to build themselves as a brand and how to always be innovative and just not follow what other people are doing, not follow the trend, but be a trend. So basically, a lot of business.
No pun intended to Matt Taven.
But like I was telling the students there, most of the people carry merch, T-shirts and stuff. I said, think outside the box. You don't always have to sell T-shirts. And then, just do other things, like based on your character One character does this guy Cheddar. He walks around, he throws cheese at people. So I'm like, dude, instead of throwing like real slices of cheese, why not make the cheese like into a sticker and throw the stickers out? At least people could use the sticker and it's branding. Later on, they're gonna see the sticker. If someone throws me a slice of Velveeta, it's pretty funny at the moment, but what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna eat it. I'm gonna throw it out. But that sticker I could put on my laptop, put it on, a window of your car if you're a fan of that particular athlete in their gimmick. Wear a t-shirt. Listen, you're going to wear it, wash it a few times. Most of the Gildan shirts shrink where they fit me today and they fit, my nephew 2 weeks later. So I told him just think outside the box, and more like trying to pump them up to think that they, a lot of this, they don't have the confidence level. So it's also about being confident, and if you want people to buy into you, you got to know how to market and sell yourself. So
that's a great idea. That's amazing. That's something to take in. That's one, I agree 100%. It's definitely amazing. If you're paying money to buy the cheese, might as well just pay money to make the stickers. Then it's better use of it. People actually promote it. I love that idea. Is there anything else? I mean, honestly, people who just weren't unlucky, because I feel so unlucky that I wasn't there, that I didn't get a chance to listen to all that. What else did you talk about? What other amazing lessons or ideas that you've given out, since you know a lot in this business?
Well, I mean, they all had different ideas, and they were just picking my brain about business ideas and about you name it, just asking me life experiences. I've made many mistakes. I fell many times, but the thing is to keep getting up if you really want something bad enough. So it's just about, we spoke about building confidence and for them to think outside the box. When you're inside the box, it's hard to see the big picture. Sometimes you need to step back and look inside the box, because you get into a situation where, because you're thinking about the character and performing, your ideas become a little stale. Sometimes you need to take a breath, step outside, or listen to other people, take their ideas. Just don't shoot them down because they're different from what your beliefs are. Write them down, write notes down. I tell them, like, I could be sleeping at 3 a.m. I wake up, I grab my cell phone and I text myself something. Or I put in my notepad an idea, because I know when I go back to sleep in 4 hours when I get up, that idea is going to be gone already. And that one idea might be what put me over on top, So
yeah,
just a lot of little things that I've picked up over the years in business.
That's amazing. Wow, that's one hell of a lesson. I honestly wish I was there now. I feel like I missed out on so much. Any person can take that as a idea or lesson to follow. Wow. So, since you have been in this business and you have made mistakes, and you say all you gotta do is keep on getting up and keep on getting strong, what is the next big merch that you guys want to go for? Now that you've done shirts, hats, sweaters, hoodies, everything, what's next? What's gonna keep going? What's the plan?
Well, like I said, we have the compression line out now. We're working on a new sweatsuit now as we speak. New jacket for the fall. So you always, like I was telling the students, I don't believe like doing big fashion, like winter, spring, summer, fall. That's for the big fashion companies. For the regular people, you need to do a monthly drop. I like to drop stuff monthly, because you always stay fresh like that. If somebody's got to wait 3 or 4 months for a next collection to come out, you're out of sight, out of mind. So for me, it's always do a monthly drop, always have something new. And then the second I get it, I have select people, like you mentioned before, the Tavens, the TJPs, Mooses, the Theories.
So many.
And as soon as something like that, they drop, right, they get shipped right to them.
Yeah, you guys.
Those are people that show love.
Yeah, no, you guys are, I don't even want to say one step ahead. You guys are just doing the best thing. I've been a fan for so long, like I said, ever since I saw Theory wrestle at Evolve in New York, Queens, I believe, it was amazing, it's, as people watch the logo and buy the merch, it's amazing. And it takes a lot to keep going and keep fighting, even though social media turns you down. Other stuff happen, As long as you guys are still there, still moving, still working hard, that's all that matters. And I think that shows a lot in character. And, when you guys did the first giveaway, in my last video, well, I don't know if it's my last video now, but in my last video, I told everyone to get on it, check it out. I got messages and DMs about it, and it just shows how many people who still follow want to know more, and it's amazing because I was just like, it's on the story, it's over here, and people still want more. And as you're doing the giveaway, again, people are going to check that out. Again, people are going to repost it, are going to show on their story, tag friends, and it's going to just make even more people want to follow.
Yeah, like I think actually one of your fans won the giveaway. Actually, one of your supporters.
It
It's
was
funny, and
yeah, it was my friend Trevor Brooks. He's a huge. So when I first bought my first Future Legends merch, it was the hat. He goes, "Where'd you get this hat?" I show him the website, and he's like, "This is Austin Theory's website." I'm like, "No, it's not Austin Theory's website." And it was like a whole 20-minute conversation where we're discussing what we're gonna get next and this. And as I'm doing the interview, he texts me saying, "Yo, you mentioned them. Go do the giveaway yourself." I'm like, "I'll post the giveaway so my followers can see it and they'll repost it and do the stories." And yeah, he won, and I told him, I was like, "Dude, you're lucky. That's just shows that the more you work hard, the more you try and put in that extra minute to do the story, follow, tag the friends. It gives you the opportunity. You get the shot. Take the shot."
yeah, you won't know until you take that shot, But it's funny how we collectively picked him, and it turns out like I have another company in New York, and he actually lives like within walking distance of us. I says, "Wow, it's really a small world." But yeah,
Yeah, I'm
and,
by
and
I'm by the boardwalk, the famous by Coney Island boardwalk, and he's
yeah,
on Ocean Parkway. It's again, it's such a small world. Especially, I do remember though, because as you mentioned your old Instagram, I feel like when I followed on Instagram, it said Neptune. I feel like the address was there. Was there ever an address in your bio?
yes, yes,
I knew it.
it
See,
was not.
I knew it because I remember following, and I'm like, Neptune. Wait, is this where you live? And we're just talking, and we like Google it, and we noticed. And when I saw the second one, when I got the message from Alan, and I saw it, I'm like, I don't see that bio, and I'm like, something went wrong here. And then you told me in the text what happened, and now it all comes back to where it is now, where we're gonna do as much as we can to make Future Legends back to 12K and grow stronger and get more people and follow.
We appreciate that.
Of course, of course. So, what would you tell a lot of people that are listening right now? A lot of people that want to follow a dream, just like myself. What would you tell someone to keep going? I just say never give up. There's always going to be obstacles. We've all hit our own obstacles. What would you tell people at the end of the day to pick up on one lesson and listen to this and follow it from all the time?
The thing about chasing your dream is that most people give up on themselves too soon, because a lot of people base their dream on making money. As I told the student at Jay's school last week, I says, business for me is always, I put people ahead of money. When you give back, you do the right thing for people, they're always going to send people. Like my other company in the auto business, referral, word of mouth. That's how that company's been around for 25 plus years. So because I've never put a profit ahead of the people. Some jobs I'm not going to make money on. I understand that. And I'm good with that. Maybe I'm not making nothing today, but as long as I'm not losing nothing and things are getting covered and I'm not compromising a repair, just because I'm not earning, I won't do that either, because my name has to go on that. So the same thing, if you go into things just for the money, I feel like you'll never be blessed. When you go into for the passion and because you want it, like you want to better things, you want to do things. It's not only about making money. Like I donate probably more stuff and more money to charity than I actually put in my pocket from the t-shirt company at this current moment. But with that being said, I keep going every day because I know sooner or later I'm going to strike a chord where the money's going to come in and I'll be able to do more good with it. So that's the one thing I tell people. If you're going to go in it just solely to make money, that's when I think that you fail, because you're so focused on the money that you have nothing else. You kind of lose the passion. So, and you focus just on the paper and not the passion. So for me, it's always passion first, then paper comes next. I mean, and that's been my motto forever, and it works for me. It may not work for some other people, but for me, that's what I would tell people. Focus on your passion first. The money's going to come, but Be passionate about everything you do, and if you fall, it's just a learning lesson. It's a bump in the road. You got to get up. I mean, going to other things. Back in 2018, I was partially paralyzed for 4.5 months, so I had to learn to walk again. And a funny wrestling story about it is that I was telling this story the other day to the students. I remember my first steps on the treadmill, even though I couldn't really walk. The left leg was just kind of lagging, but I had the rehab tech video it, and I sent it to Alberto Del Rio, who's actually a good friend of ours, and he was so happy. Every day, not every day, but every other day, he called to check on me and see my status. So it's just like I said, I didn't give up then when chips were stacked against me not to walk again. So it's just that mindset, to keep going every day.
It's amazing, truly inspiring. Goosebumps, literally. I think a lot of people needed to hear that, because it's not easy. It's not. It's going to be a lot of downfalls for it to actually look like there's something there. You know what I mean? I mean, you definitely know what I mean. Wow. All right. Well, as we are, dying down, tell me how people right now, all my followers, all my listeners, Spotify, iTunes, everything who are listening, what can they do? What could we do to keep the brand up, to keep the name going, and just to support?
Biggest thing is social media. We're on Twitter at @OneFutureLegend, Future Legend Clothing on Instagram. Just follow it. If you want to buy a shirt, futurelegend.com, visit and buy there. We're always running sales, or we'll do free shipping and sales, so you always got to stay on top of that. But like I said, it's not only about the money. We're not taking all the money and lining our pockets with it. We're doing good things too, giving back to different charities, helping out people in need. And then other things that our brand does is we don't really lower our prices on merch just to get rid of it. I actually donate a lot of it to people who are less fortunate and homeless and stuff, people that don't have, because I feel like it goes a longer way than selling it at a markdown price. I don't really, thank God, knock wood, I really don't need the money, and I don't need to mark it down and devalue my company. I'd rather give it to people who are in need and they could really use it. Some people that don't have a shirt to put on their back, now they can have 10 different shirts to put on their back, so just little things like that I believe separate our brand from a lot of other brands.
That is so powerful. That is amazing. We're going to end it right here. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to put all the information in the bio below so you can follow any way you can and support if you want to buy some sick ass merch. It's all there. The shirts are amazing. Hats are unbelievable. Check it out.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved talking to Future. He is an amazing businessman with an amazing mindset, and I cannot wait to pick his mind more, getting more information, how I can be better, how ARWP could be better. And if you are not, go follow all Future Legends clothing brand social media platforms, all in the bio below. Go into the documentary, all will be in the bio below. Please go do anything you can to help support Future Legends. And if you're new here, please give me a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all my platforms, all in the bio below. And again, like I said, we're doing an awesome Future Legends giveaway with ARWP. It is the classic Future Legends tee. All you have to do is make a story, tag ARWP, tag Future Legends, 5 of your friends, and you can enter to win this on Monday. I'll see you guys with another video next time. Thank you so much for listening.